with this big tree being so close to the house, what the tree roots can actually do to a walkway. Now granted, that's a different grading of a different grade or a different strength of concrete than what a house foundation is. However, you can see how damaging that can be to a foundation or to concrete. It does have the tendency, it does have the strength to move foundations. Now, if you look at on this side, over here on this little ledge, it's a good 3 inches, about 3 inches of what's been moved away from the sidewalk and raised and lifted. And it very well may have some issues underneath this side of the house when it comes to this tree and the roots. Now, there's not a whole lot to say or to show me if it's doing any damage, with the exception of this area right here, which is underneath this window and this window sill, where, in my opinion, this window sill is going to need to be rebuilt because it's been damaged beyond the point of repair. And then underneath there's cracking that is a little unusual. There's some vertical and horizontal cracking that goes all the way over, if you can see, to that far corner. So that area right there may have been affected by some of the tree roots. It's hard to say what happened, but all we can do is look at it and say, well, we do have a problem in its current state. And then looking up around the house and around all areas where we have all the wood trim, if you look at it from this angle over here, you can see the wood trim and the condition that the wood trim is in from all the water and from the flashing that has deteriorated or is worn down and is doing nothing but getting absorbed by that wood of the house. And it's like that at all of the wooden areas in the exterior of the house. So some areas are going to need to be replaced, some areas are going to need to be repaired. Paint for the entire exterior of the house is going to be something that's highly recommended to help fill some of the cracks and gaps that are around the exterior. Now, there's not too many stucco cracks that are unusual on this house. In fact, there's no unusual cracking on the exterior of the house. It's all pretty normal stair-step type cracking, and most of that's at the back of the house. And then I would recommend at the front porch, there's an area of the ceiling of the front porch, because the front porch has a drywall ceiling. Now, we all know drywall is a material that's supposed to be used on the interior of a house, but it's still used even to this day in some exterior applications. And in this particular case, the ceiling was put in with the front patio ceiling was installed with a drywall ceiling. Well, it's only a matter of time before the moisture, the weathering, being here in Florida, deteriorates it to where the seams separate, and the tape comes undone, and then the seams come apart. Now, if we take a look over here real quick, you can see a close-up of that. Let's see what I'm talking about, because it's a really good example of what you see, not just on front patios where drywall's been used, but also on back patios, a lot of times in garages, in a lot of areas where ceilings have been put in that are exterior with drywall, and then these type of defects happen over time. So over 20 years of moisture on the outside of the house is what's caused that, nothing more. Okay, I already mentioned painting the entire exterior of the house.
Yes.
All right, let's go ahead and just walk around.